Imagine standing face to face with an animal that weighs more than a truck, an animal strong enough to rip trees from the ground, flip carts, and crush a human with a single step. Now, imagine trying to tell that animal what to do. No machines, no fences, no tranquilizers, no modern equipment, just a human and an elephant. At first, the idea sounds ridiculous. Why would a creature that powerful ever listen to us? After all, humans aren't stronger than elephants. We're not faster. We're not tougher. And yet, for thousands of years, elephants carried our supplies, moved enormous logs, built cities, helped armies cross continents. So how did humans convince one of the largest land animals on Earth to work alongside them? The answer reveals something surprising about elephants and about us. To understand the challenge, you first need to understand how powerful elephants really are. An adult Asian elephant can weigh over 5,000 kilograms. That's more than 50 grown humans combined. Its trunk contains tens of thousands of muscles, strong enough to lift a tree trunk, gentle enough to pick up a single blade of grass. If an elephant truly wanted to ignore you, there was almost nothing you could do about it, which creates a huge question. If force wasn't enough, then what was? Because ancient humans faced a problem that seemed impossible. How do you control a creature that could effortlessly overpower you? The answer begins with something elephants and humans surprisingly share. We are both social animals. Elephants don't live alone. They live in families, complex societies, groups built on trust, memory, communication, and relationships. In many ways, an elephant's world isn't completely different from our own. They recognize individuals, remember past experiences, form friendships, and even appear to mourn their dead. Ancient humans eventually realized something important. They didn't need to defeat elephants. They needed to earn their trust. And that changed everything. For thousands of years, elephant trainers across Asia developed methods that relied less on strength and more on relationships. Because an elephant can learn extremely well. In fact, elephants possess some of the best memories in the animal kingdom. A lesson learned once might be remembered for years, sometimes decades. Trainers discovered that consistency mattered, patience mattered, trust mattered. Over time, many elephants learned to recognize commands, understand routines, and work closely with specific humans. Not because humans were stronger, but because cooperation offered benefits to both sides. And suddenly, an impossible task became possible. But perhaps the strangest part is what elephants were capable of doing once that trust existed. Imagine needing to move a giant tree through dense forest, a task that would take dozens of people. An elephant could do it almost effortlessly, using its trunk, its tusks, its incredible strength. For centuries, elephants became living machines before machines existed. They hauled timber, transported supplies, cleared pathways through forests. And in some regions, entire industries depended on them. Yet even then, humans never truly controlled elephants the way they controlled tools. Because elephants were never tools. They were intelligent partners. And intelligent partners come with minds of their own. In fact, history is filled with stories of elephants refusing commands, ignoring trainers, or making decisions for themselves. Which sounds surprising until you remember something. Elephants are not robots. They're thinking animals. And some scientists believe their intelligence may be far greater than most people realize. Elephants can solve problems, recognize themselves in mirrors, cooperate with one another, and even understand certain forms of teamwork. Some researchers have compared parts of elephant intelligence to abilities seen in dolphins and great apes, which means ancient humans weren't simply training muscle. They were working with one of the smartest animals on Earth. And maybe that's why the relationship lasted so long. Because at its core, it wasn't built entirely on dominance, it was built on understanding. Humans provided food, guidance, protection. Elephants provided strength, transportation, and labor that no human could ever match. Together, they achieved things neither could accomplish alone. And for thousands of years, that partnership reshaped forests, trade routes, and entire civilizations. But perhaps the most fascinating lesson isn't about elephants at all. It's about humans. Again and again throughout history, our greatest achievements didn't come from being the strongest species. They came from cooperation, from understanding other animals, other humans, and the world around us. Because when ancient humans stood before a creature powerful enough to crush them, they didn't solve the problem with force. They solved it with patience, trust, and relationships. And maybe that's the real reason humans became so successful. Not because we could overpower nature, but because we learned how to work with it, even when nature looked like a 6-ton elephant standing right in front of us. Sometimes humanity's greatest strength wasn't controlling the world around us, but convincing it to work alongside us.